Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. I am your chemistry teacher and today in this video we are going to start with second chapter, physical and chemical changes. A change means the transformation of a substance from one form to another. We experience various types of changes around us such as the formation of day and night, the change of seasons, rain, drought, germination of seeds, ripening of fruits, cooking of food, burning of fuels, etc. The changes around us may be desirable or undesirable, periodic or non periodic, natural or man made, reversible or irreversible, slow or fast, exothermic or endothermic, physical or chemical. So let's study about these changes. First of all, we have desirable and undesirable changes. The changes that are useful to mankind are called desirable changes, while the changes which are harmful to mankind are called undesirable changes. We can also say that the changes that bring about destruction are called undesirable changes. Examples of desirable changes are curdling of milk, cooking of food, etc., because these are useful to us. And examples of undesirable changes are cutting of trees, rusting of iron, etc., because these are harmful to us. Next, we have periodic and non periodic changes. Periodic changes are those changes that occur repeatedly after regular intervals of time and whose occurrence can be predicted. For example, movement of pendulum, movement of hands of clocks, phases of moon, motion of earth, etc. All these changes occur repeatedly after regular intervals of time. Then non-periodic changes are those changes that do not repeat themselves at regular intervals of time. Earthquakes, cyclones, volcanic eruptions are the examples of non-periodic changes. Next category of changes is natural and man-made changes. The changes that occur naturally are called natural changes. For example, weathering of rocks, blooming of flowers, formation of clouds, etc. occur naturally. And the changes that occur due to the action of human beings are called man-made changes. For example, cutting of trees, construction of bridges, construction of roads, and construction of dams are done by human beings. The changes that occur around us can also be classified as reversible and irreversible changes. The changes that can be easily reversed by reversing the conditions or by removing the cause of change are called reversible changes. For example, vaporization, condensation, freezing, melting, sublimation, stretching of rubber band, drying of cloth, etc. are all reversible changes. The changes that cannot be easily reversed are called irreversible changes. For example, burning of paper, germination of seeds, bursting of crackers, etc. are irreversible changes. All the changes take some time to occur. Some changes occur in a short time while others occur in a long time. On this basis, the changes are classified as slow and fast changes. Slow changes are those changes that take place slowly, like germination of seeds, rusting of iron, etc. Fast changes are those changes that take place fast, like burning of matchstick, bursting of crackers, etc. On the basis of energy change, the changes are classified as exothermic and endothermic changes. A change in which energy is released in the form of heat is called an exothermic change, while a change in which energy is absorbed in the form of heat is called an endothermic change. During an exothermic change, the reactants have more energy than the products. But during an endothermic change, the products have more energy than the reactants. During an exothermic change, the energy is released as the products are formed. But during an endothermic change, the energy is absorbed as the products are formed. Since heat energy is evolved or released to surroundings during exothermic change, therefore the container in which an exothermic change is taking place will be warm. And since heat energy is absorbed from surrounding during an endothermic change, therefore the container in which an endothermic change is taking place will be cold. Some examples of exothermic changes are rusting of iron, condensation of water vapor, formation of snow, making of ice cubes from water, burning of sugar, because all these changes take place by releasing heat. And some examples of endothermic changes are cooking of an egg, evaporation of water, melting of ice cubes, photosynthesis, etc. Because all these changes occur by absorbing energy. Next, we are going to study about physical and chemical changes. A change in which the chemical composition of a substance remains the same is called a physical change, while a change in which the chemical composition of a substance changes is called the chemical change. Since the chemical composition remains same in physical change, it means no new substance is formed. For example, water freezes to form ice, but in both water and ice, only water molecules are present. Since the chemical composition changes during a chemical change, it means the formation of a new substance takes place. For example, when wood is burnt, then ash and carbon dioxide are formed. And wood is different substance from ash and carbon dioxide as they have different chemical composition. A physical change is easy to reverse. For example, when gas is cooled, it changes into liquid, and this liquid can be converted back into gas by heating it. But most of the chemical changes are irreversible. For example, milk can be converted into curd, but curd cannot be converted back into milk. During a physical change, heat or light may or may not be given out or absorbed. But during a chemical change, heat or light or both are given out or consumed. As we can reverse the physical changes, so these are temporary changes. And since chemical changes cannot be reversed, hence chemical changes are permanent. Some examples of physical changes are melting of chocolate, glowing of a bulb, cutting of grass, making sugar or salt solution in water, melting, freezing, condensation, evaporation, sublimation, etc. And some examples of chemical changes are burning of fuel, digestion of food, ripening of fruits, cooking of food, formation of compounds such as fertilizers, detergents, etc.